Big round of applause. Welcome her to the stage, Soula. Come on.
I'm going to tell you the story of how I got my ophidiophobia. It's not an STD, but it's an irrational fear of snakes. I'm so afraid of snakes, it's insane. If I even see it on television, if I see someone holding a snake or just Discovery Channel, I get scared. I can't even see a snake on the cover of my book. I have a book at home and I put a post-it on it. I just can't I can't look at it, I get scared. Even thinking of a snake at home, like what if a snake would come inside? I can't sleep. I can't sleep. It's that I'm afraid, really afraid. Now, how did I get it? I have to go to Greece, in this little village in the north of Greece where my parents come from. And they grew up there, but then after 25 years, they came to Holland as expats. The bad kind, though. The poor, illiterate expats. You know, the ones everyone needs, but no one really wants. Those expats. But yeah, they were working here in the factories, in the textile industry, working. And then they were like, we need to make more money. We need to work harder, more hours. But you know, there's no one here to take care of our children. I had one brother, and they were like, you know what? Let's take them to, the grandparents in Greece. And they can take care of them. So they took us there, and they left us there for 1.5 years. I mean, imagine that. I don't know. Is there anyone with children? Does anyone have children? What? Mezrab doesn't reproduce? Well, Mezrab is gonna die out. Just one. Who has children? Who has children? You have children? Okay. Imagine, how old is she? You have a young child? 10. Imagine when your child was 2, that you would take it away and not see it for 1.5 years. Imagine that you're not there when they walk and talk, or are amazed by the sun, or like, oh, cow, that you're not there. Imagine that. So, but they did. It was different times, so we were there, and after 1.5 years, I forgot who my real parents were. But I was happy there. I was happy, playing around, running, and I had a big family there, lots of aunts and uncles, and they took care of me. And this little village, it was filled with snakes, high in the mountains, filled with snakes. But I didn't know, they probably took care of me. But one day, my youngest aunt took me on a trip. Yes, let's take the toddler on a trip. And not to Disneyland or to a playground, no, to a field. Out there. And I was following my little aunt. She was a little bit taller than I was, and I don't know, like this. I didn't grow very well. With my little legs, with baby fat, and my diaper, and my belly stuffed with white, I said that fasolada, with white beans. They gave us white beans with tomato sauce every day. I wasn't able to eat it for 20 years after that. It was too much. So my belly was like, and I followed her. And then she was looking around, and suddenly she said, okay, let's sit down. And when she was about to sit down, she jumped up, and she took the axe, she had with her, which is the exact thing you need when you take a toddler out on a trip. And there was a snake in the grass, hidden. It was sleeping. And she shouted, "Not on my watch!" And she cut the snake in pieces. And I remember, I was only 2 or 3, and I remember this moment. I was so scared. I was like shaking on my little fatty legs, and I I probably, I don't know, left something in my diaper. I was so scared. And then she said, okay, let's get ice cream now. I don't know how I passed the rest of my stay there. But I have one picture when I was 3 years old, because there's a cake and there are 3 candles. I'm like, not very happy. I think after that, that fear is still inside this body. It has never left me. And one day, after 1.5 years, my mother came to pick us up. And I was playing outside of the house of my grandparents in the village, and a taxi stopped. And a woman I didn't recognize opened the window and she shouted, "Oh, Soula, come to mama. Come to mama. Ela." And I was like, who the fuck are you? I did not recognize her at all. So I went inside to my real mom and dad. And then the woman said, no, I'm your mother. And she gave me a picture of a man, and she's like, this is your father. I'm like, no. It was a man, and he was blonde, and he looked like a German. I was like, is he really my dad? Oh my God. And that was so weird. I was like, what? My world was upside down. And then she took us back to Holland, and I had to say goodbye to my grandparents and to the little village, and with all those beautiful smells that even if I smell, burnt wood, I am in the village immediately. And I had to say goodbye to that. And then I came here, where I couldn't speak the language, and with all the fear, the biggest fear of my life, for snakes. So that's thanks to my beautiful aunt, heroic aunt, who gave me that as a present. So that was my story. Thank you very much.
Soula, you guys.